Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Money Mondays. This will be a solo edition podcast. We are sitting here at the wild jungle, 26 acres, 209 animals, and they are hungry. You might hear some of them right behind me. We've got horses and zorses. There's only 17 zorses in the country. We got micro, mini Highland cows. Oh, when I say behind me, I'm like right behind this, actually, right outside. So the reason we shoot in the RV motorhome is we want to take away any friction from celebrities, athletes, business people. They get busy. And so we can take the RV motorhome and literally pull up to their house, office, headquarters, gym, wherever to record podcasts. We will be doing that this week and next week. We're going to take on some very interesting characters. We'll be taking this RV motorhome to interview some pretty big names. So I'm very excited about that. And you will see them on future episodes, depending on when this episode comes out. So for this episode, we typically go over 3 core topics: how to make money, how to invest money, how to give it away to charity. But since I'm doing a solo episode, I want to talk about the word networking. So oftentimes networking, people think of it as just like collecting a business card or collecting a phone number or following each other on social media. I'm going to walk you through the before, the during, and the after. As you guys know, these podcasts are an average of 40 minutes because the average workout is 45 minutes. The average commute to work is 45 minutes. And so we keep these episodes to 40 minutes or less. This one will be even less than that. It's probably going to be 26 to 32 minutes. You might hear some construction going on in the background. We are live in a motorhome at an actual functional, you can hear that? Yeah. All right, guys. So networking is super important. Oftentimes people ask me, what is your superpower? And every single time I answer the exact same way. And I say my cell phone. My cell phone is because whether I want to get a restaurant reservation or invest into a restaurant, it's one text message away. And so the people that you meet, whether it's the host at a restaurant, the owner of a restaurant, and I use the restaurant as the example, are now functional people that you can interact with for many, many years. Imagine the same thing if you need a clothing manufacturer, someone for shipping, an attorney, an accountant, a web designer, anything, a podcast producer, a videographer, an editor, a web designer. There's so many different facets of life. There are hundreds of different careers that are out there. And if you might need someone, a friend might need someone, an acquaintance might need someone, it is very functional for you to have that person in your phone, whether you use them or not. Meaning, you may never need a web designer or a certain type of accountant or a certain type of a lawyer, etc. You're like, I don't need a real estate attorney. It's still nice to know a real estate attorney. If one of your friends or acquaintances brings up they need a real estate attorney, you can now plug them, you can now connect them. Networking is very powerful from that concept. So when people ask me for something via text, in person, on social, typically I can group chat them or send them a phone number within seconds. They're like, oh, I need someone to help me with my Facebook ads. Boom, talk to this person. Oh, I would really love to grow on Twitter. Oh yeah, talk to this person. Oh, dang it, I have this situation going on in Salt Lake City. I need to find the right type of lawyer to help me with this paperwork. Oh, boom, talk to this lawyer. He's great. They are a text message away, an email away because of relationships. And so networking, the before, during, after, let's walk through it. The before. You have to be worth networking with. And when I say that, I don't mean you have to be a millionaire or you have to be some super cool person. You have to be a person of value or a person of character or standards or morals. Someone that is presentable that someone wants to interact with. And so when you're going to an event or you're on social media or you're interacting with people out there, keep in mind when you're asking for their phone number or you're getting their business card or following them on social media, you want to be presentable from your perspective. You might be 15 years old. So I'm not saying you have to be a millionaire or a business person or something else. You could be 15 years old, you could be 72 years old, or anything between. It's just thinking about what is the career, passion, or hobby that you have in your life. What is the stage of your life that you're in currently? And be a presentable version of that. So if you are in the real estate game, if you are a personal trainer, if you are a chef, if you are making a web design, etc., being the representation of that, of how you feel comfortable, so that when it's time for someone to want to get your phone number or follow you on social media, get your email address, etc., you are representative, that you care about that thing. You are someone that actually knows what's up. What do I mean by that? When I say you are someone that knows what's up, study your career, passion, or hobby. So you could be 15 years old and you want to be a web designer or you want to be a video editor. That's fantastic. Study everything about that category. That will make you stand out. That will make you representable. So if you get really, really good at video editing, or you get really, really good at understanding all things real estate, or you get really good at knowing everything about pickleball because you're passionate about it, you being really good and really knowledgeable about something will make you stand out. So that is a part of the before. The before is, well, if you want to meet more people in real estate or investing or fashion or beauty or makeup or hair or accounting or finance or investing, whatever the thing is that you like or your career is going to be, learn as much as you can about that. That makes you much more interesting to network with. You want that in someone's mind. And so if you know a ton about a certain subject, you become an expert in their mind. If you know a ton about, or you're really good at some game, chess, poker, pickleball, basketball, football, hockey, soccer, whatever, that will make people remember you because that's a personal attachment, right? They have an emotional attachment to that thing. You just want to be known for how amazing your cooking is. Fantastic. Get super, super good at it. Study everything about cooking. You get the point. So the before is you being you. Get as good as you can about being you and learning about subjects, your passion, your career, or your hobby. Next, let's talk about the during, right? So how do you get someone's phone number? How do you get someone to follow you on social media? How do you ask for their email? What is the approach like? So typically what happens is people are doing it. They're trying to get a phone number or an email or business card for the transaction. And so oftentimes they go too soon for it. And again, when it's not like you're dating, so it's not like you're just asking for the date in the first 5 seconds. It's a similar concept, but it's not the same, emotional thing about it. What you don't want to do is immediately like, hey, when you shake their hand, like, hey, what do you do? Can I have your phone number? What happens is you're now placed in a category in someone's mind for that. They will remember that little moment compared to you meet someone, you build some rapport for 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, whatever that conversation is. And then once you've built some rapport, either becoming relatable with them, telling them about how smart you are about a certain subject, how cool you are, how fun you are, how good you are, how much you're interested in learning something. By the way, you might not have any skill yet, but you want to learn about a category. Building a bit of rapport or interest with that person. And then on minute 2, 5, 8, whatever that time frame is of your interaction, then before you guys are parting ways, you could ask for a phone number, ask to follow them on social media, ask for their email or business card. So the during, you have to keep in mind also is when you're going to events, this is not the time to be the fly on the wall, the butterfly that just sits. This is not the time to hide in the corner and be on your phone. When you go to an industry event or a networking event or a charity event or a cocktail event or a rooftop event or a sporting event, these are the times that you are there to network. You are there to learn. You're there to watch. There's plenty of time for you to be at home on your computer, on your phone, or watching Netflix or doing emails, all that thing. The times that you're out, which is only for typically 1 to 3 hours at a time, when you're out and about at an event, these are the moments in time that can change your life forever. Let me be very clear. The people that you meet can and will change your life forever. They will influence decisions, influence future events of yours, influence so many different things. The butterfly effect of the people you meet will literally change the entire course of your life. And so you should take it much more seriously when you are at an industry event, a networking event, a business event, etc., about immersing yourself and making sure to meet people. The people that you collect over the course of your life. I like to say I like to collect people. The people that you collect into your phone book, into your cell phone, into your contact list over the course of your life are very useful characters. Some of them will fade away. Some of them you'll never talk to, right? You'll never see that person again. You might not ever interact with them again. And others you become friends with, business partners with, go to events with, just hang out with, never do business with. I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of people on my phone that I'll never ever do business with. But I'll message them if I'm in Dallas, Texas. I'll message them when I'm in LA or New York. Maybe I'll see them for a certain industry, etc., which I'll get into in a moment. And then there's hundreds that I want to do business deals with or do investments with or do charity stuff with or hang out with or whatever. And then there's dozens that become like your inner circle. The thing is, your goal in life, if you can be interacting with people, especially in industry or niches, and you are collecting these people on a consistent basis, your goal in life is to build a golden phone book. Your golden phone book, that Rolodex, the people that you build up in your phone are so functional for the rest of your life. And it might not be that you need them now. It might not be that you need them next month. It could be 2.5 years from now that someone's like, oh, I really want to build a restaurant. You're like, oh, I know this great lady. She owns 7 restaurants. Let me connect you. And then 4 years from now, someone's like, oh, I really want to raise capital. I need to raise some money specifically for crypto mining. You're like, wow, I happened to meet a guy 4 years ago that does crypto mining. They have a huge mining warehouse. Let me introduce you guys. And then 7 years from now, someone's like, oh, I would really like someone to help me with my Facebook ads. You're like, oh, I got to check with my friend. I met him 7 years ago. I still talk to him. I just got to check, make sure. But they were doing a ton, millions of dollars in Facebook ads. Let me connect you guys. So again, it may not be something that you need. It might be someone that your future person that you don't even know right now, they might need them later. And so it's interesting for the rest of your life to accumulate people into your cell phone of different categories, niches. Again, whether it's the person at the front of the restaurant, the hostess, or the person that owns the restaurant and everything in between. And I use the restaurant as the example. The same thing applies to every category. Okay, so when you are at an event, I'm not asking you to be a social butterfly if that's not who you normally are. If you're an introvert by nature, if you are quiet, typically the best solution is to either go somewhere that has what's called forced interactions, where there's some reason that you can talk to people because of the setting, or bring someone who is a bit more social or a social butterfly. What's interesting about introverts is they're actually really good at talking a lot when spoken to or when they're teed up, because introverts are quiet for so many hours a day, and so they got it all built up in their mind and they've thought about everything. And so when you finally tee it up for them or introduce them to someone, they can talk up a storm. So you might be listening like, oh, I'm an introvert, Dan. I'm not going to go to a nightclub or a restaurant or a networking event or a charity event or a business event. I'm not just going to walk up to people, Dan. That's crazy. Okay, maybe you go with someone that does walk up to people, that is social, or that just makes you like a comfort blanket, that you have a second person, and it'll make it easier for you to interact. The thing for you to remember when you're at networking events, when you're at charity events, when you're at business events, etc., is the other people in the room want to meet you too. You have to get confident in yourself, that you have some value of yourself, that you are, again, whether you're 15 years old or 72 years old, whatever path you are in life, you have to build yourself up, and you can do that with knowledge. Just getting really smart about something gives you a lot of value, because most people don't study that much. You get really smart about something and build value in a certain category, you will stand out. Now, when you go out there and you meet these people, what's really cool is the 1, 2, 3, 4 people that you connect with in a night at an event, that could lead to 1, 2, 3, 4 more people per person. And you can see how the math compounds really easy. When some people you meet, all of a sudden you start to meet their friend group. You start to meet other characters in their life. You go to their birthday party and there's 30 people there. They come to yours and they bring 5 friends. Like it starts to compound over time as you're meeting more and more people. You might be like, Dan, I don't want to have thousands of people on my phone. Totally understand. You can pick and choose who you interact with. You can also pick and choose by niche. So if you're like, hey, I don't really want to, I've got 3 kids, I'm at home most of the time, I don't want to be a social butterfly. Okay. What you can do is just network within your industry and just go to real estate conventions, real estate events, real estate mixers, etc. You're a health and medical professional. You can just go to health and medical related events, health and wellness events, conventions, things like that. And you can also do everything I just said. There's different variations of doing this on social media. Doing this inside of blogs, inside of Facebook groups, inside of Instagram, Twitter, etc. You can follow people in a niche and interact with them socially via social media. And then when you can meet them in real life, fantastic. But there's plenty of people you could interact with on social media that you'll never ever meet in real life. So let me break that down. So let's say you want to be in the cryptocurrency space or the real estate space, for example, or the makeup and beauty space. You can go to Twitter, Facebook, etc., search either keywords or hashtags, and find the biggest influencers, the biggest groups in that category. You can also find the niche influencers that only have 8,000 followers, 25,000 followers, 50,000 followers, etc., and follow them on social media. At the same time, the Facebook groups, the blogs, the forums, etc., you can jump into those. You can also create your own, which would be great because now you are bringing people to you. You become the spider web, right? Everyone comes to you. So if you want to get into the beauty and makeup space, you could create a Facebook group for free. You can join 25 different Facebook groups about beauty and makeup and just immerse yourself and network like a social butterfly, but online, safely behind your phone. When I say safely, I mean like emotional safety compared to you networking in person, because you might not be wanting to network in person. I think that you should. And I think if you have time, you should, because you will build up different types of relationships meeting someone in person. But throughout the course of the year, you're only actually going to go outside to a beauty and makeup event or a real estate event or a crypto event, for example, only X amount of times throughout the year. But anytime, 24 hours a day, you could be on your phone, in Facebook groups, on Instagram, following people on Twitter, TikTok, etc., and interacting with them and building up some rapport on social. Building up rapport and building up your relationship with these people is also interesting because you're building up social credibility with them. You're interacting with them. You're commenting on their posts. You're DMing them. You're emailing with them. You're sharing content back and forth with them. You can build relationships via social media because it has become normal and common practice. And over the course of time, it's going to become more and more normal. And sadly, it's become less and less about meeting people in person. I throw 42 events a year. I'm still very active about going out there in person because it's a different type of relationship. You will build up a different type of bond, building memories with people in person. However, we do have to be realistic about society. You can do a lot of this online and interact with people online. And there's a lot of ways to do it in specific niches. Real estate, fashion. You just love animals. You can build a lot of relationships with people that want to rescue dogs also, right? There are Facebook groups for everything, and you can create your own Facebook group as well. There are hashtags for everything, and you can dive in and find people. And people that do or like what you like, you can interact with them in moments. Like before this podcast is over, you could have searched the hashtags or the groups or the best people to follow, the top influencers, the small niche influencers, everybody in between, in any niche that you care about. You want to rescue dogs? You want to rescue the manatees? You want to rescue a rainforest? You want to learn about real estate? You want to talk about stock trading? You know how many stock trading groups there are on Facebook? Infinite. Like literally infinite. And then you could search stock trading on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc., and find anyone and everyone that you want. And you can start interacting and networking with them there. All right, and now let's wrap it up with the after. Okay, so you made yourself really smart about a category. You got yourself some experience. You're learning. You're immersing yourself in the category. You're going out to events. You're networking on social media. You're interacting with people. How do you continue on with relationships after you've gotten the phone number or after you've gotten to follow each other on social media? Once you've gotten someone's phone number, there's a couple of key things to keep in mind. One, you should save them in your phone as the category that they're in. So if they're in real estate, fashion, fitness, health, attorney, doctor, whatever, use that keyword in your phone and the city that they live in. So if I put in Trevor, videographer, San Diego, what did I do? If I need to think about something that in the video space or the content space, I now can find Trevor, and maybe I meet 3 of his friends that are also in the same category. I can find those people really fast on my phone. San Diego. Well, now I know next time I'm in San Diego, there's Trevor right there. By having that breakdown, and if you want, you can also mention in your notes where you met them, or if you know a certain person that's like your mutual friend or something about their business, their birthday, anything that you can make like a relatable thing, you can put that in your notes in your contact list. But the key thing is the way you save their number, the way you save their name is Trevor, video, San Diego. Why? If you follow the things I'm talking about, you're going to end up with hundreds of people, thousands of people, and maybe even more than that over the course of time. You, in order to build and continue a relationship with someone, need to interact with them in between. What's in between? In between is if you're ever going to ask them for something, if you're ever going to offer them something, if you're ever going to throw an event or go to something in their city, like you want to build some rapport along the way, not just 8 months from now. Hey, Trevor, I'm investing in this company. Do you want to invest too? Hey, Trevor, I'm doing this thing. Do you want to do it too? If there's no interaction between me and Trevor for 8 months, would he say yes after 8 months? Probably, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. But in between, I don't know anything about Trevor's life. He might have had a baby. He might have moved to Uzbekistan. I have no idea what happened with Trevor because for 8 months we didn't interact. We didn't talk. So I don't know in between. And so what I like to do is, because it says videographer in San Diego, in between is, oh, I saw some cool article happen in San Diego. Let's say they're building this new $2 billion place in downtown San Diego, which they are. And I see a news article about it. I can send that to Trevor, like, hey, they're almost done building this $2 billion place in San Diego by the water. I might live in some random city, let's call it, I live in Dallas, Texas, or Chicago, or Miami, and I'm nowhere near San Diego. But I sent to Trevor and the other 26 people in my phone that live in San Diego this article about this cool $2 billion project being built in downtown. They might already know about it. Maybe they've heard about it, whatever. But now I have an excuse to text with them. And when that place is finally done, obviously where I can now message with them like, hey, let's go to this cool $2 billion place and see what they built. It gives you an excuse to interact with them. Now some like household name restaurant is opening in San Diego, right? Some famous restaurant from Miami, for example, is going to open in San Diego. I send it out to the 26 people plus Trevor that live in San Diego. Hey, this hot new restaurant's opening this Friday in San Diego. What does that do? It now leaves the door open for us to say, hey, we should go eat there together. Or Trevor now goes there with 4 of his friends 2 weeks from now, and he tells his friends, oh yeah, my buddy Dan told me about this place. No matter what, I've now placed a little seed, right, in their mind of Trevor and 26 other people about the hot new restaurant that's opening up in their city, even if I don't live there. Why am I doing that? I want to build up some rapport with the person, some back and forth to make me stand out. From the night that Trevor and I met, he met 11 other people that night and dozens of other people that week, and they've met hundreds of people in between throughout the course of the year. I want to stand out. And so the reason for you to interact with people in between is to start to build a relationship with them, stand out from all the other phone numbers that are in their phone, and vice versa. Hopefully they think about you when it comes to things that are going on in your world, in your city, etc. So they might be visiting where you live. They think about you. So now let's say it's time for you to actually go to San Diego. Well, you've got 26 people on your phone. So I've got 26 people there from San Diego, and I got Trevor. Hey guys, I don't pluralize it. Hey Trevor, I'm going to be in San Diego Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to be at the W Hotel at 7 p.m. on Saturday. I'm going to be sitting in the lobby bar. Sunday morning at 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and doing a breakfast there. And then Sunday at 1 p.m. I'm going to hit lunch at this restaurant right outside the W before I go to the airport. What did I do? I removed friction of Trevor saying I'm busy because I gave 3 different time options: a nighttime option, a morning option, and an afternoon option. If Trevor can't make it because maybe he's got kids, maybe he's busy, maybe he's out of town, etc., I still earn brownie points for inviting him, right? I still now sent out an invite and open the door for our relationship to get even stronger by inviting him to the W Hotel to either drinks, breakfast, or lunch. I can send this to as many of the 26 people as I want, knowing that 1, not all will show up. 2, that I'm going to build rapport and again earn brownie points with all of them because as many as you want. Obviously, you don't have to invite. If you met like an 82-year-old with grandkids and they're not going to leave the house to go have drinks with you on Saturday night, you don't need to invite them. Or you met someone that's 17 years old, obviously you shouldn't invite them to the drinks at the W on Saturday night. You understand the concept. Invite the people that you want to interact with and that would fit for drinks, breakfast, lunch, if at all. But the point is, by doing that, I have now showcased to Trevor that we are not just like a casual person that we met once and I got his phone number. I've sent him things that are going on in San Diego. I told him about a $2 billion place that's being built. Told him about a hot new restaurant. I'm at the W. I'm in his city next weekend. I invited him to drinks, breakfast, and lunch. I have been building up my side of the relationship, and hopefully over the course of time, we will get to have a stronger relationship. Now, by sending out that message and having the 3 different time options, why did I do it at the W Hotel in this example? Because it makes it easier for me as the individual. That's why I'm talking to you guys. From a life perspective, it's easier if you can do it in one building, typically your hotel. Now, if I was staying at the Motel 6, that wouldn't work, right? Because there's There's not drinks to have on the rooftop of the Motel 6. The breakfast place there is probably not existent. And so when I say it doesn't have to be some super cool hotel, but it has to have a hotel with something like a lobby bar, a restaurant, etc., or a hotel right next door. It's ideal that it's at your hotel because from a time perspective, it'll be easier for you to not have to drive back and forth. Now, not saying you can't plan a dinner to go to Nobu, or can't plan a dinner to go to Carbone or some cool restaurant, or plan a lunch somewhere else, or plan to go meet up at a park for free, or go do a beach walk. You can do all those things. I'm just saying from a functionality perspective, what I've done for 16 years now, since 2008, is I have people meet me at my hotel, and I always give them 3 different options. Assuming I have time to do all 3 options, I give them 3 different options. Now, if I'm in that town for that weekend, and I'm also going to be doing a charity event, or I'm also going to be playing poker, or I'm also going to be doing like a basketball pickup game, for example, well, I can also invite the characters out of the 26. I can invite the ones that would fit that as well. Like, hey, meet me at the beach. We're going running at 6 a.m. Hey, meet me at 9 a.m. We're going to go play basketball. Oh, at 3 p.m. we're going to play poker for 4 hours from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And those things don't have to be at the main hub, which is the W Hotel lobby or the W Hotel. Those can be at other locations. I'm just saying in general, for 99% of my travels, I do this over and over and over and over and over and over and over. I've done it hundreds of times over the past 16 years since 2008, is I invite people to my hotel for either an evening, a breakfast, or lunch. Again, that's adjustable if I'm only there for 1 day, if I'm there for 3 or 4 days, etc. But you get the point. The concept is to interact with people by sending them things about themselves, their industry. So let's say something came up in the video world that there's some brand new amazing camera. I can now look at my phone and see video, and bam, there's Trevor and 4 people I met in the video space. Send them this article about this hot new camera or this new device or this new program, whatever. Like, look at this new AI thing. This AI thing can change your language instantly, and I send it to those people. I'm now interacting with them, and they know I'm thinking about them for their category, for their career. And so I'm building rapport with them. Okay, I think you guys get the point. The point is to get really good at a topic or love what you do, your career, passion, hobby. Get good at it, study it, become smart about it, etc. Go to things, network with people in real life and online. And then once you've met people, interact with them. Comment on their social media, send them news articles or memes or things that are going on in their world or their city or their industry. Try to meet up with them when you're actually in town. That's obviously a way to really build rapport with someone. And when people say, oh, you got to add value to their life, when people say add value, they never actually tell you what that means. Well, I'm telling you what it means. What it means is adding value is sending them things relatable to them. So in that example with I'm sending Trevor this video article about a hot new camera or a new program or a new AI tool that is useful to them, right? It would be useful for Trevor if he knew how to use this AI tool to, bam, help his 14 other clients to be able to change their languages in seconds using this new AI program called HeyGen, for example. HeyGen, I think, just raised like $100 million or something. So someone's like, oh yeah, by you sending value to Trevor and showing him about HeyGen, and then he starts using HeyGen with his 14 clients, you've now provided value to them. So interacting with people about their life, their city, their category, the things that they care about. And by doing that, you will be stuck in people's minds. You will build emotional attachments that lead to top of mind awareness. And you're doing all of this for yourself, for your family, for your friends, and for your future. You don't know when you're going to need the lawyer, the doctor, the realtor. And by the way, you may not never need these people. That's perfectly fine too. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of people on my phone I never need for anything in particular or ever want for anything in particular. They message me sometimes. I message them. Maybe I message them never. Maybe I'll never see them again. But by having them in my phone, having that interaction with them during this short journey of life, most of us are only here for 75 to 100 something years. And that's a very, very short time on this planet. And so I want to meet a lot of people and impact a lot of lives. And you can do this through networking. All right, guys, to wrap up, as you guys know, themoneymondays.com. You can check us out there. Every Monday at 4 p.m., I do a live Zoom, about 40 minutes of teaching, 20 minutes of Q&A. Themoneymondays.com. It does have a cost to it. That investment all goes to the wild jungle to feed these 209 animals. So check out themoneymondays.com. We get really intense in there. I'm very, very blunt. As you guys hear within the podcast, I'm very straightforward and blunt and show you the behind the scenes of my world. I obviously do that there with these Zoom calls. We've been doing them for a year and a half straight. We never miss them. It's Mondays at 4 p.m. PST, where myself and the members, and sometimes I'll bring on other instructors to host the calls, but mostly it's myself in there doing live Q&A and live teaching. So check out themoneymondays.com. If you can, the like, comment, subscribe thing that people do, I'm serious about it, because the more you help us with rankings, the more we can get this knowledge out there to the world. I'm not sitting here reading ads for you guys. This podcast is done in this format so that you can consume the content, share with your friends, have blunt discussions with your friends, family, followers, staff, coworkers, etc. about money. We have to have these discussions. It has to be very straightforward, because we all grew up thinking it's rude to talk about money. I think it's ridiculous that we don't talk about it enough. And so that's why the Money Mondays is doing so well, is that people are finally waking up. They're having discussion about money. And I want you guys to do that every single Monday. I'll see you guys next Monday at themoneymondays.com.